The following is a presentation of Athletes in Motion Sports Television, established in 1986, specializing in college, high school, and action sports. Closing the gap, that is the goal of the Eagle Impact Rugby Academy. Hello and welcome to Costa Mesa, California, and the Eagle Impact Rugby Academy Clinic. Growing the game of rugby in the USA and in Southern California starts right here, right now, with talented young men being taught by exceptional leaders of the sport of rugby. Players from all over Southern California came together for a day of workouts and training as elite players will be selected to represent Southern California. And with that said, overall, their mission is to identify and develop the best young rugby players in America. Leading the charge is Salty Thompson, an accomplished athlete and coach. He knows the game of rugby better than most. His passion for the game is infectious. His goal is to make USA the best program in the world. Is that a mighty task? Sure, but don't tell that to Salty. My bet is he'll make it happen. He provided us with a little more background of the day's activities and rugby moving forward in the USA.
We've been a pilot program here since 2013. This was our starter program. The idea was that we would develop skills in kids so they become better when they get to the national team level. I've been coaching in the national team at under 18, under 19 level since 2003. And the problem is we have a gap between where we are and where the rest of the world is. So in order to close that gap, which is on my wristband, close the gap, is the idea that we work on the finer points of the game. These kids come from 25 to 30 clubs in Southern California. So our job is skill development, and which is in a sense resourcing the clubs and helping the coaches develop skills that quite frankly they don't have time to develop.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Squeeze. There you go. There you go. Extend, Mike. Extend, Mike. Extend, Mike. Good.
And I see a guy running a line like ridiculously across my face. Don't even worry about it. Sir. Because most likely he's going to run into one of your opponents. The only time you really have to sit in that is if he's attacking the leg, your outside shoulder.
Once that ball passes one hand, and then you've got the channel. You don't defend men. You defend whoever is in your channel, and you cannot worry about the guy on your inside. You have to trust your teammate to make that tackle.
If you notice one thing, it is how well these players respect the coaches. The instruction that these athletes receive is second to none. One goal in mind is to play the game professionally.
Every kid dreams of playing for professionally, and we're going over to Ireland this year, and those kids, same age, they're in school, they want to be professional players. You're looking at same stats as the NFL, what is it, 1-2%, but it's more about the journey that the kids go through in life, right? It's like I was close to internationals, but not quite. I was at a very competitive position. At those days, the game was purely amateur and everyone needed an education. Now the game is professional. There's a tendency for everybody to want to be moving on full time, and there's such a narrow window for young athletes to become a professional athlete. So that you need to take that window if it opens. And sometimes education would be on hold in terms of post-secondary education while you pursue it. Like my son Brett did 2 years at University of Arizona, got into the U.S. national team, got a professional contract, and has been a professional since 2012. At some point he'll finish his degree, but right now he's in that window and he's riding that horse as long as he can ride it, in terms of being a professional athlete traveling the world.
The sport of rugby in Southern California, and for that matter in many cities across the U.S., is growing. There is a certain appeal, attraction if you will, that other sports don't offer. For one, it's great history, a legacy that the players buy into and respect.
The rewards in this game are more, it's a strange game in the sense that the values are very strong in the game. There's a very good sense of respect for the game that you don't quite find in other sports, and there's a certain humbleness with players, and those values we cherish and we want to teach those.
Those values are core to the sport of rugby, and the teachings come from the coaches at Eagle Impact Rugby Academy. So if you're on the sideline, you're a good athlete thinking about stepping forward and getting involved, what skills do you need?
The core skills are the same as other core skills. If you look at rugby, it's about catching and passing a ball, similar to basketball. Certain players do it in football. Everyone does it here. So their catch pass has to be good. They have to run their lines of attack, the way they run and the angles they run at, with the ball and without the ball are important. Their contact skills, to be able to tackle, to be able to be tackling safely, which is a whole different subject area, because football's borrowing now from rugby, because we do spend a lot of time on the technique of contact. So being able to take contact, being able to give contact, so all of those are fundamental skills. You need to be a good rugby player. Plus, you need to be a good athlete.
The athletes at Eagle Impact Rugby Academy are aware that the man leading the charge in rugby, Salty Thompson, is the real deal. He's accomplished, but he wants more. I asked Salty what he's most proud about and what he's doing.
Hopefully a legacy. Hopefully this doesn't all go to nothing, because I think I'm setting the stage for the USA moving up. We're constantly floating in the 14 to 18 range in world rankings. There's no reason why this group can't close the gap, and then the next group, and then we narrow the gap and narrow the gap and narrow the gap, and it has to be done. So it's a commitment. So for me, it's setting the foundation for EIRA to be here long after I'm gone.
That foundation has definitely been established, and there's no doubt that with the likes of Salty Thompson, his amazing coaches, and talented players, USA Rugby is on the fast track of closing the gap. Look for more rugby coming to Athletes in Motion in the coming weeks. From Costa Mesa, California, I'm Paul Higgins for Athletes in Motion. Thanks for watching.